God bless football, Mike Golic.
God bless football, Izzy.
God bless football, Mikey A.
And God bless football, Stugotz.
Izzy, why'd you say it like that? Like you were chewing glass? Like,
What? I said it because I knew it was easy. I knew who I had to pass the ball to. And I was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, but Golic, it seemed like he put on a football voice there, did it not?
It did.
Like,
Yeah, it did. It's like change inflection.
Well, it's football time, boys.
I think you should have a football voice.
All right. This is only how I'm going to ask questions of Mike Golic.
Oh, that is so good. Mike, last night's game, we'll start there real quick with you. Troy Aikman, I thought this was interesting. He just came out after the game and talked about his former team and said the Dallas Cowboys are lousy. They're not a good football team. I thought that was interesting coming from Troy Aikman and wondering, do you agree?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not. Listen, they have to live off their offense if they're going to do anything because their defense is bad. And their offense, credit the Cardinals' defense, certainly, but the offense couldn't do anything. I mean, they didn't score an offensive touchdown till the fourth quarter. So, I mean, when you're living on that, when you're living on your offense has to be on every game, kind of like Cincinnati, where your offense has to be on not every game, every series. It puts you in a bind.
Yeah.
And listen, for the Cardinals, let's be honest, the offense is running better with Jacoby Brissett than it is with Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I mean, it runs more efficiently. It runs more practically. Now, you lose the ability of a big play with Kyler Murray's feet. But I'm telling you, you look at you secretly ask offensive linemen and wide receivers, I think they'd rather play with a Jacoby Brissett. The O-line knows exactly where Brissett is. He's 5 to 7 yards behind them. They can do the cup protection.
Yep.
And the receivers understand if you run routes, the ball's going to come your way. Everything isn't a playground play with a scrambling Kyler Murray. It's a double-edged sword, but the offense was running very efficiently. Dallas, I mean, Jerry Jones the other day talking about we got to trade and maybe we'll have more. I mean, dude is just a headline seeker. It's just unbelievable. And the team is especially the defensive side of the ball is just bad.
Yeah.
It sounds like you think that they should go to Jacoby Brissett from Kyler Murray.
He does.
And they've already come out and said that no, Kyler's still our starting quarterback. Yeah. But I wonder, is the leash getting shorter? Are they going to start actually considering it?
So obviously you have the money to think about, but I mean, he's in his seventh year, Kyler Murray. We know what he is, right?
Wow,
we know what he is and we know what he isn't.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, quarterbacks are supposed to raise the level of the offense, and every now and then Kyler has a big play, throwing it or with his legs, but it's too inconsistent. So at some point you have to say, okay, if we're going to build, do we need a new quarterback? Because I think Kyler kind of is bumping on the ceiling of we know what he is. You have one of the best tight ends in the game in Trey McBride. Marvin Harrison is starting to come together, but he and Kyler Murray certainly have not had a connection just yet. So I think because of the money, they certainly are going to go back to Kyler, but I definitely think he's on the clock.
Mike, I think when you have to announce that Kyler Murray is still our starting quarterback, you're thinking about going with Jacoby Brissett. Because, if Joe Burrow's out, you don't have to announce, hey,
no,
when Joe's ready to go, he's our starting quarterback. You don't have to announce it. He just knows it. It seems like they don't know that with Kyler,
No, I listen, I agree, especially when the backup comes in and runs a more efficient offense. Look at San Francisco. Even Mac Jones says, hey, Brock Purdy's a starter when he comes back. But listen, Mac Jones is playing well. This is a team right near the top of their division with Seattle and the Rams. Yeah. So, I think it's going to be decision time soon. Maybe not through this season because, the Cardinals are sitting at 3-5 or whatever they are. I think there's going to have to be decisions made, and you got to worry about dead money, kind of like Russell Wilson in Denver when he was a ton of dead money. You have to take the financials always into consideration.
Mike, you mentioned something there, which I don't think a lot of people think about when you talk about playing with a mobile quarterback. Like these receivers, they want to make their move and look for the ball.
Yes.
Like the scramble drill and all the, oh God, now I got to go. Oh, now I'm over here. Like that's, first of all, it's exhausting. And it's not really what you're showing off as a receiver. You want to, you want to hit your cut, get wide open, lose the DB and have the ball be right there. How much of that do receivers really just kind of like roll their eyes with these running quarterbacks? Like, I don't know what to do half the time.
Here's the thing about it. In practice, it's all you're running routes, right? Rarely are you doing the scramble drill in practice.
Right.
So, I mean, it is about a 10-yard out, a 5-yard in, a slant, a dig route, an arrow route. It's all about running routes, turning, just like you said, and the ball is expected to be there. Every play, you know, who's the number 1 receiver, who's the number 3 receiver, and the quarterback is supposed to make their reads. But, you know, when a quarterback takes off, all of a sudden you go into scramble mode, follow the quarterback, go to different depths. Yeah, I listen, as I said, wide receivers and O-linemen would rather have a very, very practical offense, which sounds weird to say in today's game where there's so many fireworks because there's so many mobile quarterbacks. But as I've always said, you can be as mobile as you want, but you have to be very proficient from the pocket. That has to be the basis of your offense. And you see that while it is occasionally with Kyler, it's 95% of the time with Jacoby. And when you see the difference of how an offense is run with a guy you know is 5 to 7 steps or yards back, and the line knows where he is. I mean, that's when you see a lot of holding penalties, right? When the quarterback breaks outside, the right or left tackle is blocking perfectly, and then the DN breaks off to take off after the quarterback who's breaking to the outside, and they get caught grabbing the guy when the D lineman tries to release. So, yeah, I'm not saying we're going back to my era of the game or before where everybody's a statue quarterback. Guys are still going to be able to move, but the basis still has to be out of the pocket.
Mike, you played with a quarterback who was mobile. You played with Randall Cunningham. So I'm wondering how you guys kind of dealt with that, how the receivers dealt with that, and how you guys would prepare for what Randall could do in practice. It's hard to mimic that, right? When a play breaks down in practice.
You rarely mimic that in practice.
Right.
You know, you're throwing from the pocket. And by the way, Randall could throw from the pocket. He had a gun.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
But he could also escape. But you have to. The majority of your throws have to be the timing routes, the reads, 1, 2, 3, and you don't do that when you scramble out of the pocket. Now, protection is an issue too. If you have a bad offensive line and protection breaks down and you have to move, that's when a scrambling quarterback is good. Yeah, but for the most part, yeah, you want him to throw from the pocket, and you have routes to run, and you have rules when the quarterback scrambles, so wide receivers don't end up next to one another. But for the most part, that's what you practice. All the receivers practice their routes during the week.
Mike, I want to believe in Green Bay. I want to believe in Jordan Love, but then they lose to Carolina, and earlier this season they lose to the Cleveland Browns. They're making it very hard for me to believe in them.
Yeah, they really are. I think still overall I do a lot because of their defense. Listen, they gave up 16 to the Panthers and 13 to the Browns. So they're in every game because of their defense. And when you have a really good defense, you're going to be in every game, and then you hope your offense comes to life. Now, they lose Tucker Kraft, who was having a great year in his third season, to an ACL. But they have a number of receivers. Christian Watson came back a couple weeks ago when I was calling a game against Pittsburgh. They have a number of receivers to throw to, and a decent running game and a really good defense. So, you know what? You have 18 weeks and 17 games. You're going to have some clunkers. That's why it's hard to go undefeated. Right? You're going to have some games where the other team gets paid too. The other team is professional.
But those are two bad clunkers. Carolina's above 500. I understand that. But Browns and Carolina at home, those are some clunkers, Mike. Yeah.
Listen, it definitely is clunkers, but they beat the Packers. You look at the other wins that they beat the Steelers. Now the Steelers defense was bad and that game was better in this game.
Yep.
Yeah, you could look at their schedule and say they haven't beaten great teams. They beat Washington, lost to Cleveland, beat the Cowboys, beat the Bengals, beat the Cardinals. Not great teams, but I still I guess believe in them, partly because I think they're a good team and partly because nobody is really in the NFC. You're going, wow, this team is head and shoulders above everybody else.
I would say no one in the NFL for that matter, right?
No,
yeah,
no, it's exactly right. I mean, we're used to talking about Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo in the AFC.
Yes.
Baltimore's still trying to come back from the injuries. Kansas City does their annual or every 1 or 2 or 3 years.
There's a chance 2 of those 3 teams don't make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, there's the Kansas City every year or 2 losing to Buffalo in the regular season, then beating them in the playoffs. You have newcomers. Listen, you have the Patriots. You have the Colts, even though they had laid a stinker, a lot of turnovers. You have the Denver Broncos. Those 3 teams are going to make noise.
You know what's infuriating when you watch? Like, I like to give NFL head coaches their credit for
Where's
being...
your football voice?
Sorry. I like to give NFL coaches their credit for being, smart and overthinking everything, right? And just really have... But when they can't do what a 10-year-old can figure out from home, that's what's infuriating. Dan Quinn, take your quarterback out, man. Like, they need to have a coach. I can't do that the whole time. They need to have a coach, Mike, where, how you have a get-back coach?
Yeah.
They need to find, like, the least competitive person on the team and make them the get-him-out coach. Like, hey, coach, it's 31-7. Get him out. Like, there's nothing we're going to do here that's positive. Get him out of there. So that way you're not yelling at home and your 12-year-old isn't yelling at home. Get him out of the fucking game. He's going to get hurt. And then when he gets hurt, you don't take the blame and be like, oh, okay, it's 100% on me. And now the fans are supposed to be what? Happy with it because you took the blame?
Mike, before you answer that, in fairness to Dan Quinn, he did take full accountability for that move. He said, I left them in there too long. It's on me. It's not on anyone else. He did that after we recorded yesterday.
He did. My son calls that every company and or team needs a common sense coach.
Yes.
To take the common sense approach. And I called that game with Ryan Radke for Westwood One. And the series before that, we actually started talking. Ryan was asking me, is it night for Jaden Daniels and for Sam Darnold? Take them both out. It was 38-7.
Wow, that's a good point.
38-7.
Right. Yeah.
Now, there were, at the start of that drive, there were 12 minutes left in the game. And listen, no player wants to come out. Every player wants to stay in with the good and stay in with the bad. But it shouldn't be up to the player. It should be up to the coach. And we talk about analytics in sports now, but I still think part of it has to be your gut. And your gut, I think, and you're right, Stu, Dan did take responsibility, is the fact that Jaden Daniels is coming off 2 injuries, week 3 and 4 a knee, and the week before a hamstring. And in this game, he ran 10 times, 8 of them were scrambles. He had the most pressure on him this season. He was basically taking off with the ball almost every pass play. So he was in harm's way a number of times. So I said it on air. What's the sense of keeping him in the game?
Right.
Coming off injuries, having to run almost on every play he's dropping back. If he had good protection and wasn't coming off injury, I could see him staying in. But in this case, why? And
Stu, I am not going to give him credit, Stu. I'm not going to give him credit. That's the whole point. He's got to not put him in, not apologize. He's got to take him out instead of apologizing afterward when he gets hurt. You got to have the foresight, my man.
No. I understand that. I'm not giving. Dan Quinn did the only thing he could do, which is take accountability for leaving Jaden Daniels. It was a little bit late. I would have preferred it earlier. Yeah, I'm not complimenting Dan Quinn, but someone finally got to him and said, hey, coach, you got to say that's on you. Because if Jaden Daniels tries to take himself out of the game, if he's the common sense guy on the team, that's not a good look for Jaden Daniels. Coach needs to protect him there,
Yeah, coaches need to take the helmets away from players. They need the ones they need to be, for lack of a better term, the bad guys.
Right.
And taking him out. And yes, Jaden should have been taken out at that point. Sam Darnold was taken out the next drive. Drew Lock went in because there's no reason to put him out there, even if he was just handing the ball off. That was just a Washington season went from bad to off the rails in that one instance.
Right.
I love the idea of there's one coach holding like 22 helmets because he doesn't want any of the players to go back in. So there's one coach holding everybody's helmet so that they can't
get him out, coach.
Get him out,
coach. Gotta have long arms.
Mike said 2 words that made me feel all sort of warm and fuzzy inside. Westwood One. I only hear that during NFL games that I listen to on the radio. And I was just like, wow, I know nothing about that company, but I know they do radio on NFL.
I know they do NFL big games. That's what I know. Right. Mike, you mentioned Sam Darnold since you called that game. How impressed have you been with Sam Darnold? It's like he's mastered that position, and all it took was him leaving the Jets to do it. I mean,
a lot of it is the team around you, right? I mean, he has a great defense.
Yeah.
You have a great defense. You're in every game. Quite honestly, that helped Bo Nix's progression his rookie year, being in every game, having extra possessions because of turnovers. You see, Sam Darnold left the Jets. Saquon Barkley left the Giants, right? A team that had to pass all the time, a team that's O-line wasn't very good. He goes to a team that has a great O-line and runs the ball. He gets over 2,000 yards. Daniel Jones leaves the Giants. He gets a really good offensive line with the Colts and the leading running back in rushing yards in the league in Jonathan Taylor. That helps. They say a change of scenery can help. Well, it's a change of what team you're on,
right?
As well. Sam Darnold, look what he did last year in Minnesota as opposed to the Jets, save for the last regular season game and the playoff game last year. He's doing that in Seattle. And a lot of that is now it's him. You give him credit for it, but it's certainly the team around him as well.
Stugotz here. Have you heard of Goldbelly? It's the amazing site that I order from all the time where you can get the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants all across the U.S., and they will ship it anywhere across the country. It's perfect for hosting Thanksgiving without the stress, and with Black Friday around the corner, it's a great time to pre-order, phlegm. It's a great time to pre-order holiday gifts that ship right to their door. Goldbelly can ship smoked turkey from Salt Lick Barbecue in Texas, savory sides like lobster mac and cheese straight from Maine, and legendary desserts like the 3-in-1 pie cake to make hosting a breeze. And they make beautiful holiday gifts you can send to anyone across the country. I've ordered from Goldbelly a few times now, and every experience has been top-notch. The food always arrives perfectly packed and still fresh. It's impressive how they maintain the quality during shipping. I'll admit, I was skeptical at first about ordering restaurant meals online, especially things like barbecue or baked goods that can easily lose their texture or flavor in transit. But Goldbelly totally changed my mind. Everything tasted just like it would if I sat down in the restaurant itself, and the ordering process was ridiculously easy. You can tell they perfected the whole experience. So if you are looking for that perfect holiday gift or want to impress your friends and family with an epic Thanksgiving, go to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GBF. That's Goldbelly, all capitalized, GOLDBELLY.com. Code GBF for 20% off your first order.
Mike, I'm not sure if you I'm not sure how you sort of deal with this. The UM loss to SMU this past weekend.
He hates
one
it.
of those
what do
things,
you mean?
Right, because you need their.
He had a
resume
bad
to look
weekend.
good.
Navy lost and UM lost.
Yeah,
I mean,
but little bit of you is smiling, right? Like that UM takes that L.
Well, here's the part of me that's smiling is, where does the committee put Miami? Because we had the AP rankings and Miami dropped to 18 and Notre Dame is 10 because it's all about the playoffs, right? So how close is Miami to Notre Dame in the committee's eyes? Because at the end of the day, they're both probably going to end up with 2 losses. Mm-hmm. And Miami beat Notre Dame head to head. So where do those losses come into play? What will the committee, how if there's distance between them, they won't jump Miami over Notre Dame. I either wanted Miami to keep winning, or by being ranked just ahead of Notre Dame, I wanted them to lose and fall behind them, like Vanderbilt fell behind them, Georgia Tech fell behind them. Because quite honestly, it's not the top 12 that the Power Four should worry about. It's the top 11, because the group of 5 winner is not going to be in the top 12, and they're going to take the 12th spot. The 12th spot is so on thin ice. You're basically going to be out, because Memphis is the highest rated group of 5 right now, and I think they're 18th or 20th or 22nd or something like that. But if it's them, they're going to take the 12th spot. So whoever's ever in the 12th spot, they're just holding it. It's just a place card until the group of 5 takes over that spot.
How big does that week 1 win really Like how much does that head-to-head really matter when it's a 3-point win on the road, meaning in Miami, and first week of the season? Like, the committee's supposed to take into account how teams are playing toward the end of the season. So that first game you could sort of overlook and say, hey, that's pretty much a wash.
Well, it does mean less, especially because Miami lost to an unranked team in SMU. I believe they're unranked.
They were unranked at the time. Yes,
they were unranked at the time. And Notre Dame's 2 losses were to when Miami was highly ranked, and Texas A&M is still highly ranked, and it was a 1-point game. So Notre Dame technically has air quotes around this better losses than Miami does, and that certainly will come into play.
I think the AP just told you they don't find it to be really that important at all, the head-to-head stuff, right? I mean, I don't know if the committee's going to follow suit, Izzy, but I think the AP just said, hey, we don't care about head-to-head. Like
I said, Miami's 18, Notre Dame's 10. So that's why an early loss, especially to a supposed good team, really does hurt you less. We keep talking about these teams starting off the season with cupcakes, but you start off the season with a good team and lose in a close game, it's not going to kill you. Now, as long as you take care of business the rest of the season, you still should be okay.
Mike, you got a couple of really big games this weekend. You got an 8-9 matchup, BYU and Texas Tech. And then you've got Missouri against Texas A&M. Obviously, you're pulling for Texas A&M.
Yeah.
It's an elimination game for Missouri, but Texas A&M, I feel like, needs it because right now, if they were to lose that game, we might start calling them frauds.
Well, I mean, plus you have how many other teams right there? You have Georgia, you have Alabama, you have Ole Miss in the SEC. So, and I don't know if Texas A&M is getting, by the AP voters they are, but by the national media, I still think people feel Alabama is better. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, and obviously Georgia, but Texas A&M is really good. Marcel Reed is the real deal, and that defense is incredibly tough. But Missouri's going to be a good game. You know, everybody talks about Bo Perbula, the kid who came over from Penn State, a quarterback, but Ahmad Henry, or Hardy, I mean, is a really, really good running back. The SEC, boy, is really, really week to week with the teams that are at the top. There's only one undefeated, obviously, in the conference, or two, actually, A&M and Alabama, and they don't play one another. So they obviously hold they're all the cards as far as being able to play one another in the SEC title game if they keep going the way they are.
Texas A&M is a 7.5-point favorite right now on FanDuel for that game.
I love this game. I love where we arrived at this point in the season, Mike, because Missouri does have 2 losses. They cannot lose another game. Texas A&M can lose a game and will likely still get into the playoffs. Therefore, Missouri has more motivation headed into this game, as if Texas A&M doesn't have enough. They're undefeated, but Missouri knows they have to win this game or they're out. And I love that. Yes.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. And the other one-loss teams, I believe most of the one-loss teams in the SEC, Texas A&M didn't play.
Right.
This would a loss, they would still be in it for sure, but this is without. And Missouri is probably out anyway, though this would be a great win. 2 losses, they're not going to play for the SEC title game. They're going to have to get in as a wild card, and that's going to be tough to do. Again, wherever the initial rankings are by the committee says a lot of what the committee thinks of that team. Missouri's sitting at 19 in the AP poll. Where are they when the committee vote? That's going to say an awful lot.
Is Penn State going to be tricky for Indiana? I mean, they're 2 touchdown favorites, Indiana is, but, you know, when you've got nothing to lose and you're Penn State.
And no more James Franklin. I mean,
right.
I always look at teams that change the coaches like that, like LSU. How are they going to come out and play when all of a sudden the chains are taken off and any kind of talk that was going on is over and you can kind of play more free? But man, Indiana is good. Kurt Cignetti has them playing. They are not only beating the teams they should, they are blowing them out.
Yes.
I would be stunned if they struggled against Penn State.
On a backup quarterback, too, Penn State is.
Yeah, I think Indiana is in good. Indiana and Ohio State are on an absolute collision course for the both making it into the playoffs, and B, who the number one seed's going to be.
Who might win the Heisman? Those two quarterbacks.
That's the truth.
Yes. Yes. Mike, how many additional beach houses do you think Lane Kiffin's agent has purchased during this entire process?
I mean, it's already been great for Kurt Signetti, Matt
Yes.
Rule.
Yes.
Lashley, the coach at SMU, signed an 8-year extension.
And then beat UM. Yep.
I mean, it is for Lane. Lane's got an interesting decision to make because there's obviously way more to take into consideration than just his salary, which will be big anywhere he goes.
Right.
It's what will they have to pay the assistants, to keep the assistants? What kind of money will the boosters offer up? What kind of facilities? Lane is in a position to ask for whatever he wants. I don't mean just for himself. I mean to take care of facilities, to take care of boosters' money, to take care of assistant coaches. He's in a great position. He's in obviously the best position. His agent is in a great position as well.
Oh my God.
Just answering the phone, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what he's going to do. I mean, right now he has Ole Miss in a better position than both Florida and LSU. But overall, does LSU get better recruits? They have more guys that go on to the NFL. Is it a better place to be, or does he keep growing at Mississippi? It's going to be real interesting.
Saban, and we'll get to Saban, something else with Nick Saban in a second, but on College Game Day last week, he was saying no one has any idea which jobs are actually the best jobs anymore. No one knows, and he's right. Yeah.
No, you really don't. And quite honestly, Lane Kiffin, they may not go really high and let Lane go, and they might just bump up Charlie Weiss Jr.
Right.
Quite honestly.
Yes.
Who would be an unbelievable, because he's doing a great job as a coordinator. Now, we don't know what he would do as a head coach. He'd be unbelievably young. But, that would be, because understand, where coaches leave to go somewhere else, that school becomes vacant as well.
Right.
So there's going to, and then where does James Franklin go when he can't win the big game? Where does Brian Kelly go when he can't win the big game? Who hires them?
Right.
And I'm sure Penn State and LSU hope somebody hires them to help offset the buyout.
Yes, of course. Yes. Yes. They're calling schools actively.
Yes, exactly.
Trying to sell universities. Listen, we like Brian. It wasn't a good fit here. The whole thing in the gym where he talks.
Exactly. You'll love him at your school.
They're foisting him. They're foisting him.
We were so close. Mike, there's a video. Mikey A will help me out with this. There is a video of Nick Saban. I'm not certain how old Saban is, but he's trying to watch the Bills and the Chiefs game on Sunday night. It's his birthday. His family walks in, okay? They have the cake, they have candles, they have gifts, and Saban, who is, again, trying to watch the Sunday game, Bills and Chiefs, wants nothing to do with his family or his birthday, and says, get the hell out of here, I'm trying to watch the football game. And I'm wondering when you stop caring about birthdays.
Oh, man, I stopped caring about them. I would say, listen, 50 is a kind of a milestone. I would say after 50, I don't care about them anymore. I don't look forward to them because it just means I'm a year older. Right. My body started breaking down when I hit 60, so I hate birthdays right now. It just reminds me I need another body part replaced. I still enjoy cake, don't get me wrong, but the actual celebration, I'm past that. I just rather the day move on.
I'm not a fan of walking the cake to the birthday person. I'm more of, hey, let's gather around the table and sing happy birthday. So I feel like, I don't know, a little bit narcissistic if you're the guy who has to have the cake brought to you. And frankly, like if I'm doing something, like, don't bother me with this cake right now. I'm clearly working.
You're playing both sides. You think Nick's going to get up and go to the dining room table? Get the fuck out of here watching football.
Quite honestly, now when you're as old as he is, you don't have an individual candle for each year. No. You get the numbered candles, but still, you're right. You're right. Is he walking to somebody? Now you got lit candles. Yeah. Now you got to walk slowly and gingerly, and you pray that some of them don't go out. Then you got to relight them. You kind of ruin the whole thing. I agree. It should be at a table and everybody should be around the table.
You could trip over the pet and just to have a whole viral situation. Yeah.
There you go.
looking at the score of the game when he's watching it, it's also a one-score game, and you had halftime to get this done. Okay,
Correct.
Be better,
True.
Saban family.
Meet at the table at halftime, Nick. And they called him. They didn't call him Nick. Would they call him like Papa or that?
Yeah.
Listen,
that was sweet.
And
It's
you know
Grandpa.
he's a coach, so coaches and players live an itinerary life. So that should have been planned for halftime.
Right.
You're right. And halftime is shorter. I get it.
Yep.
But still, it's an itinerary.
He was
you have
wrapped
X
in his
amount
blanket.
of minutes when they go off the field to when they come back on the field. Plenty of time to sing happy birthday.
Mike, is your family aware of this, that you no longer want birthday celebrations, and do they try to celebrate them?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, there's not big celebrations anymore in the Golic house for my birthday. They just, my birthday hits, they're like, oh, you're still here? Oh, okay. All right.
There's a cake with a candle at all times. You can walk by and blow the candle.
Eat it if you want. Light the candle if you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He just eats it. I mean, that's
it's just a calendar in the living room with a date circled, and nobody
exactly
acknowledges
right.
anything.
Yeah.
Mike, what'd you make of your Eagles? And I hate saying your Eagles because I'm not even certain you played for Philadelphia. I'm not even certain you root for Philadelphia. But listen, there is a rule in the NFL when Howie Roseman calls, don't pick up the phone. He called the Dolphins. There was no one there to pick up the phone, so he just took Jalen Phillips. What'd you make of that move?
I mean, and then the week before, he got a couple of cornerbacks, including Jair Alexander.
I know.
I mean, I listen. You're right. When you see that area code come up, you got to be like, okay, A, I don't answer it, or B, I have to be on my best game if I'm going to deal with Howie Roseman.
Yes,
because he's a master at it, and
he is.
the trade deadline has gotten interesting in the NFL. You guys have all been in this long enough to know the trade deadline would come in the NFL and we'd be doing a show and going, oh, it's a trade deadline. Nothing would happen and you'd move on to the next day. Ever since the Christian McCaffrey trade,
right,
and to a level maybe right below that, TJ Hawkinson went from Detroit to Minnesota, and these players were immediate impact players for their new teams. You were like, okay, maybe we can help ourselves with trade. So it's always interesting to me now every year who gets traded, when they get traded, what do they get traded for, and how much impact do they have on their team. And it's not surprising at all. The Eagles are a team that makes a lot of moves, and Jerry Jones is a guy who talks about the possibility of a lot of moves.
He loves to do that. What'd you make of Chris Greer, who was the general manager of the Dolphins since 2016? No playoff wins. They made the playoffs 3 times. But Chris Greer gets let go by the Dolphins. Mike, in today's NFL, I was thinking about this over the weekend. 2016, no playoff wins.
Yeah.
Chris Greer got plenty of time, more time than the average GM to actually get something done for the team and the organization that he was working for, and just couldn't get it done. And I think the combination of Greer not having a playoff win and that Tua contract, and more importantly, how Tua performed after he gave him the contract, is why Chris Greer is no longer here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people just expect either the head coach to go first, or if you're going to fire the GM, the head coach to go with the GM, as they're normally connected. So that's why this was kind of a little more odd as a one-off of just a GM, but I get it. Yeah. He's been at the helm of building a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in 9 years.
Yeah.
So, and it'll be 10 this year. They're 2-7. They're not going anywhere. So, and you wonder about Mike McDonald after the season, right? If they're going to make a change, and if Tua, obviously they have a lot of money invested in Tua, so I'd imagine he'd still be the quarterback. That organization is a mess right now.
It is. Mike, have you seen enough of J.J. McCarthy where you're kind of, well, I don't know if any of us have, but what do you think of J.J. McCarthy?
Oh, I have no idea yet.
Right.
I mean,
he was hurt,
good, though. He was hurt all last year, couldn't even practice with the team. The beginning of this year, he played 8 quarters before he missed 5 games, and 7 of those quarters he was shaky. And one of the 8 quarters he was really good. And in this game, he was okay.
Right.
He was what? He was just over 50%, 14 to 25, 2 touchdowns and an interception. I haven't seen enough of him to know just yet, but the one thing I do trust is Kevin O'Connell working with quarterbacks. But McCarthy's got to stay healthy. He's missed way more time than he's been on the field. So let's keep him on the field consistently, number one, and then let's see how his game improves.
I don't know how much you've seen of the Bears, Mike, but the Ben Johnson offense as an experience is so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
And now it feels like Caleb Williams might be getting it a little bit in the way he ended that game the other day against Cincinnati. How do you see that Chicago team sort of coming up to its own, especially in the offense?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's obviously what you have to look at the offense. So one thing, Caleb's still not turning the ball over, just 4 interceptions. He had, 5 or 6 as a rookie last year. He's a guy that you're still trying to tame in the pocket. He still bails backwards, but he makes miraculous plays at times and then gets stung for a 15-yard loss at times. But boy, you're right. It's exciting to watch because you don't know where it's going to go. And I think it even frustrates Ben Johnson at times because you look where he came from Detroit. Jared Goff was not a running, scrambling, back to the defense quarterback. He was a guy in the pocket that just zipped the ball to his athletes and let them make plays. And that's what Ben Johnson wants. But you have kind of a wild card with Caleb Williams who makes plays with his feet, and give him credit because he does that. So they'll just keep building around him. And Ben did that. And Poles did that in the offseason by trying to help rebuild that offensive line, especially the interior. It'll be a process for them, but I agree with you. They're fun to watch. Yeah. And I mean, listen, nice pass to Loveland without question for the touchdown, but what horrible tackling. Horrible tackling. I mean, by Cincinnati.
It was the game of the year, Mike. I mean,
it was just awful. But yeah, they are fun to watch.
Mike, we're going to play a game with you at the end here. I'm just going to name a team, and you tell me if you could see that team making it to the Super Bowl.
Making it or winning the Super Bowl?
No, just making it. Making it. Mikey, have we been doing making it or winning it?
Making it.
Making it to the Super Bowl. Before I get to that game, I wonder if you agree with this. I am super fascinated to see how the Indianapolis Colts bounce back, and in particular Daniel Jones, from a bad loss. Because when you have a quarterback who is outperforming basically his entire career, meaning this season he's played better this year than at any point in his career. When you have that kind of quarterback who's gaining momentum, and then he's the reason that his team loses a game, I'm interested to see, because if the Colts are for real, Mike, and Daniel Jones has figured it out, he'll come back next week, he'll play well, they'll come back next week, they'll play well, and they'll blow out a mediocre Atlanta Falcon team.
So I think it was just a bad game. You look at all you look at all the turnovers, 2 strip sacks, 1 from the blind side, the other was TJ Watt. It looked like TJ Watt was going to be pushed past Jones, and he got it knocked out of his hands. That happens. One of the interceptions was a tip ball. His other two interceptions were not great. But you know what? One of the reasons Daniel Jones has been playing well, as I talked about, was with a good O-line and a good running game. Well, they didn't have a good running game, and the O-line was probably played their worst game of the season.
Right.
So you add all those up. It's not like Daniel Jones all of a sudden turned into this unbelievably great quarterback, though I'm sure he's progressed better, but he had a better surrounding cast around him that also had an off game.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about his ability to put that game behind him. Like, when Mahomes has a bad game or Burrow has a bad game, I have no doubt the next week they're going to have a great game. And I'm wondering if Daniel Jones can do that, you know?
Well, again, I think it'll fall on, I don't know if you can put a game on Daniel Jones's shoulders. He needs the O-line to play well. He needs the running attack to go well as well. So there are pieces to this puzzle.
I was joking earlier this week about America not being ready for a Colts-Seahawks Super Bowl.
Yeah.
December 14th, baby. Colts at Seahawks Super Bowl preview.
Yes.
It's a 425 big CBS
I was telling
game.
Izzy, that Super Bowl would grab the number 1 market because you would have Sam Darnold, former Jets quarterback, against Daniel Jones, former Giants quarterback.
I'm telling you, just doing a Seattle game, that's the Seattle defense is really good.
Yeah.
7 players with double-digit pressures, 4 with over 20. I mean, they are playing some ball.
Yes. So, Izzy, we could get the game twice is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
Super Bowl
see.
preview, right?
We'll see what kind of temperature America has for this game, what kind of feelings they have for this game, and if it's well rated, hey, maybe we can watch them in the Super Bowl.
Sure. And I have a feeling this game of who can make it to the Super Bowl is going to be a lot more yeses than nos because there really isn't a dominant team.
All right, well, let's try it out right now. Golic and Golic every afternoon, FanDuel Sports Network. Check them out right there. Patriots. Can you see the Patriots making it to the Super Bowl, Mike Golic?
Wow.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, a difficult one.
Yes.
It's hard for me to say yes.
Right.
But man, they just keep doing it.
I know.
But I just think there's too many other teams in the AFC for them to get by. It's horrible that I'm not a believer because I love Vrabel and I love how he's turned that program around.
Mike, the AFC teams might catch a break. I'm not saying this is how it's going to play out, but there might be an AFC playoff scenario with no Bengals, no Ravens, and no Chiefs. All right? Just keep that in mind, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, Buffalo Bills. Can you see them making it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Drake May is in the hunt for MVP, and Josh Allen probably still right around being the favorite. Their defense against the run worries me a little bit. Let's see what they do by the trade deadline, maybe with a wide receiver. But yeah, I could see them making the Super Bowl.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't know if the defense is consistent enough. Defense played great in the game against the Colts. Played great. It's the most expensive defense, I believe, cap-wise in the league. But I just don't think they can be consistent enough to make it.
This one is so much fun. Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, they're getting healthy at the right time.
They're a full 2 games back of Pittsburgh.
Oh, and I think they're going to win the division. I think Baltimore is going to end up winning the division. I mean, I believe they still play Pittsburgh twice, right?
They do.
Yeah, they play him the last game of the season, and they play him in a few weeks. So, yeah, I think Baltimore is going to win the division. You have a great quarterback. Hopefully he stays healthy. And Lamar Jackson, you're getting healthy at the right time. Yeah, I definitely think they can.
All right, the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it was a bad game against Pittsburgh. When you have a running game and an O-line as good as they are, I mean, to protect the quarterback, it gives you a shot. The defense, is kind of hit and miss, but I love the fact that you can run the ball. A running game works everywhere.
Yes.
Right? Good weather, bad weather, and they have one. So,
right. How about the Jags? If your answer is no, that's fine. We'll just move on. Okay.
Wait, Jacksonville?
Yeah. Yeah, they're 5-3, Mike. I mean,
no.
Okay. Denver Broncos.
Yes, again, because of their defense. Defense travels. Their defense is really, really good. And obviously Sean Payton is a great offensive coach. So I picked them to win the division at the beginning of the year. So I do think they can make the Super Bowl, yes.
He said Jacksonville, Florida?
No,
but this is what I love. 3-5 Baltimore, he has to think about. 5-3 Jacksonville doesn't have to think about it.
No. Nope.
Did you pronounce that? Jacksonville? Never heard of him.
Yeah. It was like, wait a minute. Did you say Jacksonville?
Denver Broncos. Yes.
You said Denver. I said yes.
Okay. Chargers. Yes or no?
I don't think so. I mean, too many injuries on the O-line. I mean, Rashawn Slater before the season, you move Joe Alt from right tackle to left tackle. He blows an ankle out. Their running attack, they've gone through a number of running backs as well, though they're still actually running the ball pretty well. But I think too many injuries on the O-line. Herbert's got a gun, but I just don't think so.
All right, last team in the AFC, Kansas City Chiefs. Yes.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they absolutely can. When you have the weapons you have and you have Mahomes, you're in every single game without question. They did, like I said, their annual or every couple of years, lost to Buffalo in the regular season, and then they just kind of walk off the field and smirk and say, we'll see you in the playoffs.
I'll skip the Eagles and go right to the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, defense is playing really well. The offense certainly has the ability to score points. Tucker Kraft being gone hurts them for sure.
Yes.
But they have enough receivers to spread the ball around, too. Absolutely.
Detroit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, without question.
You don't need to expand. That's fine. We get it. Yep. Bears?
No, I don't think just yet.
Vikings?
He went through the whole NFC North.
Because in the NFC, all four of those teams can make the playoffs. That's why I went through them all.
It's the only division where the worst team is 500.
Yes.
What a game.
Right. Vikings 4-4. Buccaneers.
I want to say the Buccaneers because I love the way they play. I love the way Baker Mayfield plays. So I definitely want to say them. They're kind of on the fence to me, but I'll lean yes.
If you say the Carolina Panthers, Stu, I'm leaving.
I'm skipping the Carolina Panthers. Any of these teams that you can't see making the Super Bowl out of the NFC West? Seattle, Rams, or San Francisco?
What 49ers are doing with injuries
amazing.
Is complete opposite of last year with all the injuries.
He's a great coach.
One of the big differences is last year Christian McCaffrey was out. Now he's in, and he's just incredible. No, I could see all three of those teams. Seattle with that incredible defense, the Rams with the offense. Quite honestly, I think Matthew Stafford should be the favorite for the MVP this year. Leads in touchdown passes, high completion percentage, excellent offense. I could see all three of those teams making it.
Matthew Stafford is perfect. I have
really
grown to adore Matthew. Perfect. You know, he kisses his 4 daughters before the game. He's adorable, that guy.
He's adorable.
Perfect is an interesting.
Okay. I love him. I mean, I do. It's a good guy. Anyway, Mike, we appreciate the time. Good luck. You're playing Navy this week. I'm sure as you like to say, you'll give them a hand once you tackle them. You shouldn't really do that to them. You should leave our Naval Academy alone. They have more important things to attend to.
Yeah.
TYFYS.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, no ranked teams left. They play Navy, then Pitt, which is going to be a good game, I think. But I'm a little nervous of where the committee is going to have Notre Dame, how close to that number. Again, the number 12 spot, you might as well not be in the playoffs because you're going to get bumped.
Right. You'll be okay, Mike.
We'll see. I hope.
This thing was expanded to put you in the playoff. Okay,
well,
you're fine.
Hey, as I said, Notre Dame doesn't make the rules. We just follow the rules.
Get out of here. Golic and Golic, FanDuel Sports Network every afternoon. God bless football, Mike Golic.
God bless football, Mikey A.
God bless football, Izzy.
Oh, we do this at the end, too. God bless football.
Football voice.
Yeah.
Football voice.
You'll get it, Izzy.
Stugotz here. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. Listen, support the people that support this show, and no one has supported us more than our friends at FanDuel. So even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. That's $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Must be 21 and older and present in select states or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.